And coming to the plasma proteins, in this session we see about plasma proteins. And plasma is the component of the red blood cells, and it mainly constitute about 55% of red blood cells, whereas platelets is mainly constitute about 0.01% in the blood. And our blood consists of 41% of RBCs, that is red blood cells or erythrocytes, and 4% of white blood cells, and 4% of white blood cells, that is leukocytes. And the leukocytes is often termed as lymphocytes, basophils, eosinophils, monocytes, and neutrophils. And coming to the plasma proteins, these are the composition which is involved, and it is the blood which consists of plasma and some of the solid components. And plasma it mainly comprises about 55%, and it appears as the straw colored fluid composed mainly of water, but it is also carries enzymes and salts, and it is designed to carry, and it is designed mainly to carry the nutrients, hormones, and proteins in different parts of the body. And it also mainly carries the waste products of the cell metabolism from various tissues to the organs, and it is mainly responsible for detoxifying and excreting them outside the body. And in addition, plasma is the vehicle for the transport of blood cells through the blood vessels. And plasma contains about 90% of the water and 10% of ions, proteins, dissolved gases such as CO2, oxygen, nitrogen, and nutrient molecules, and waste products. And these proteins in plasma include the antibody proteins, coagulation factors, and the proteins albumin, fibrinogen, globulin, and it's mainly used to maintain the serum osmotic pressure. And the pH and osmotic pressure of blood, it is mainly maintained by the plasma ions, plasma proteins, and other molecules. And these are the complex molecules, and it is present in blood plasma, and it mainly mostly produced by our liver, which is then released into the blood plasma. And the mixture of proteins in human plasma is called as simple proteins, glycoproteins, lipoproteins, conjugated proteins, or together called as plasma proteins. And these plasma proteins are most abundant substance in plasma, and mainly the three plasma proteins, albumin, globulin, and fibrinogen. And albumin, which is helps to maintain the colloidal osmotic pressure of the blood, and the colloidal osmotic pressure of the blood is important in maintaining the balance between the water and blood. So balance between the water and blood inside the body is called as osmotic pressure. When the plasma proteins are deficient, the water in the plasma seeps out into the space around the blood vessels, and it may result in the edema or swelling or liver disorders or kidney disorders or malnutrition. And it mainly helps to transport many substances such as drugs, hormones, and fatty acids. And it is the simple protein made up of only one amino acid, and it is essential for preserving the blood's osmotic pressure, as I said earlier, and which is required to maintain both the body's electrolyte and water balance. And mainly it aids in the transportation of numerous molecules such as drugs, fatty acids, hormones, and enzymes. So when the balance between the water and blood in the human body, it mainly includes the cells water content in the cells and water content in the body. So to regulate both the body's electrolyte balance and body's water balance is mainly done through this albumin, and it is a type of plasma proteins, and it is mainly found in the egg white. So this egg white is responsible for protein, albumin,